Welcome back to the weekly Wolverine podcast. And I wrote an article last night about the Detroit Pistons, wrote a letter to Dwane Casey, and it's a messy situation going on between Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes, and Cory Joseph. I just don't understand it, Dwane. I think Dwane Casey has done some great things here. You look at the improvement that Bay has made, or not necessarily the improvement, but the development. The development has been very impressive. Stewart has developed his game nicely. A lot of guys are developing and improving. But I'm a little bit worried about the point guard position right now, which I never thought I'd say before the season started. But this season was supposed to be about development, right? That's what you said. That's what Troy Weaver said, and that's what you said. But we're seeing Cory Joseph, a 31-year-old veteran who's averaging about 7 points per game in his career, take up nearly half the game, which doesn't make any sense to me. I understand that Cade and Killian need a breather, and I understand you want to get them on the floor at the same time. But the way you're managing the minutes, it's an absolute disaster right now because you're stunting Cade's development and you're stunting Killian's development. The thing about developing a point guard is you have to give them the ball. If you want your point guards to be the best, they need to be the first guy getting the ball out of bounds when they're running down the court. And the fact of the matter is there's too many possessions where Cade isn't seeing the basketball, and there's too many possessions where Killian isn't seeing the basketball. And they both have shown flashes. I mean, I think Cade Cunningham is going to be really good. I'm personally not worried too much about his shot misses because I think that'll get a lot better. I think that's more rust than anything. But at this point, you need to get them as many minutes as possible so that you can develop them to the best of your ability. And you don't get better at playing the piano by watching it and sitting on the bench. That's for sure. But I'm glad the fans haven't given up on Killian. They haven't given up on Cade. We want to see these guys play. I don't care if this team goes 1-81. I really don't. If Killian Hayes and Cade Cunningham get the vast majority of the minutes, and you know what, they don't perform, then you move forward and you find a different approach. But if they do and they're starting to show signs of improvement, then great. You stick with them and you keep it going. And you need these guys to develop now. This is a critical juncture for the Pistons. And part of establishing a good culture is making sure that you compete every night. And there's some fans out there wondering, when you're putting Cory Joseph out there, and nothing against Cory, I think he's decent, but when you're putting Cory Joseph out there, what exactly are you really trying to do? I've heard some tanking speculations. I'm not really going to go there, but I'm just not really sure what Dwane Casey's doing. And if he doesn't fix this, if he doesn't get the situation fixed between Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes, and Cory Joseph, the goal is to get Killian and Cade the most minutes and the most touches possible. If that doesn't happen, I think you got to move on from Dwane Casey if you're the Detroit Pistons. But obviously there's a long way to go in this season, and there's a lot to work out. So this is a critical juncture for Dwane Casey, and I want the guy to succeed. I like the guy, and I think the players like him a lot too. But you cannot be delivering inconsistent lineups every night. And your lineup out there is, number one, is not the best for the future. Number two, I don't think it's giving you the best chance to win either. So this has got to change. That's all I'm going to say about it. All right, last up on Wolverine State Sports Talk. The Detroit Tigers just made a big signing this weekend. We'll get into more of that. And hopefully they can get Carlos Correa very soon. Stay tuned.